Hi, welcome to STT University. I, Mr. Vedamurthy from Faculty of Nursing. Today we are going to learn about one of the central nervous system disorder, that is meningitis.
Meningitis is the most common infectious disease condition of a central nervous system. It can be occur as a primary disease or as a result of a complication of neural surgery, trauma, systemic infection or sinus or ear infection. A wide variety of bacteria and the virus can be responsible for a primary infection. It is potentially a life-threatening condition that can be rapidly progress to a permanent brain damage, neurological problem and even death. Meningitis is an inflammation of a meninges of the brain that results from a pathogen entering the central nervous system and causing a toxic response. Or inflammation of a meninges is called as meningitis. Meningitis most commonly affecting a children between the age group of 1 month to 5 years. But it can occur at any age group. Boys are affecting more frequently than the girls. Risk factor increasing where individuals are in close contact with one another. The disease condition may spread from one person to another person through fecal contamination or contacted with a body fluid like sneezing and coughing.
Based on the duration, it is classified into acute, subacute and chronic. In acute stage, it is occurring within 24 hours. In subacute stage, we will see it is lasting for 1 day to 7 days. And in chronic stage, it will be a longer duration, more than 7 days. Based on the etiological factors, it is divided into bacterial, viral and the fungal.
Clinical manifestation of meningitis varies according to the age of the children and the duration of the preceding illness. In neonate, we can see poor feeding, poor sucking reflex, vomiting, diarrhea, poor muscle tone, weak cry, hypothermia, apnea, seizure, sepsis, full tensed or bulging fontanelle, lethargy and the neck stiffness. Similarly, in infant and young children, we can see fever, vomiting, marked irritability, frequent seizure, bulging fontanelle, lethargy, knuckle rigidity. Brudzinski sign and the Kernig sign are not helping for the diagnosis because of the age factor. Subdural empyema. In children and the adolescent, we can see fever, chill, headache, vomiting, seizure, irritability, agitation, knuckle rigidity. Positively, Brudzinski sign and the Kernig sign. Hyperactivity is the clinical manifestation of meningitis. Diagnostic evaluation, which include history collection, physical examination. Lumbar puncture shows elevated in the intracranial pressure. CSF examination shows that CSF is cloudy or milky in nature. WBC count is raised, predominantly in neutrophil count. The protein level is high and glucose level is moderately decreased in CSF. Blood examination reveals leukocytosis. Blood culture may be positive. CT scan is not necessary for diagnosis, but it is useful to exclude the possibility of subdural hematoma, brain abscess, hydrocephalus. Montauk's test will be performed in case of tubercular meningitis. Supportive investigations for tubercular meningitis like chest and skull X-ray, ESR, gastric lavage, lymph node biopsy, liver biopsy, bone marrow aspiration and biopsy is the clinical diagnosis for meningitis. Therapeutic management. The principles of therapeutic management include isolation precaution, initiation of antimicrobial therapy, maintenance of optimum hydration level of the patient, maintenance of ventilation, reduction of an increased intracranial pressure, management of bacterial shock, control of a seizure, correction of anemia and the treatment for the complication. Assess the level of consciousness, vital sign and neurological parameter frequently. Observe for a sign and symptoms of increased intracranial pressure. Maintain a quiet, calm environment to prevent agitation, which may be a cause of increasing intracranial pressure. Prepare a patient for a lumbar puncture for CSF evaluation. Notify the healthcare provider for a sign of deterioration by increasing temperature, decreasing the level of consciousness, seizure activity or altered respiration status. Administered antimicrobial agent, administered antipyretic as ordered by the physician. Maintain input and output chart closely. Monitored central venous pressure frequently. Prevent IV fluid overload, which may be worse the cerebral edema. Administered a osmotic diuretic like mannitol. Assess the level, intensity, duration and location of a pain. Darken the room if the photophobia is present. Assist with a position of comfort for a neck stiffness. Elevate the head of the bed to decrease the intracranial pressure and reduce the pain. Monitor for a response of adverse reaction. Avoid opioid medication, which may be a markedly decreased in a level of consciousness. This was the nursing management for meningitis.
So today we covered meningitis. In our next lecture, we are going to discuss regarding encephalitis. Till then, keep learning, keep growing. See you next time.